Hello, collective. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self-love and growth. Hi, you guys. Welcome back into the channel. You guys, this is going to be a message for my divine feminines. But like I always say, divine masculines, even cross watchers, people just that are curious, you're all welcome. You're all welcome to listen in because, there's always something that we can learn, right? So, this message is specific for my divine feminines. This is a check in to see how you guys are doing at this time. I'm going to pull from the Truth Oracle. I'm also going to get you messages from Woman in Total Control of Herself, Oshun, and also Feminine Wisdom. So, this is again dedicated to my divine feminines, but all cross watchers are welcome in. Perfect. So, my divine feminines, how have you guys been doing? Hopefully, well. Hopefully, things are going good for you. I feel like for my divine feminines at this time, a lot of us are focused in on doing some spring cleaning. And I feel like doing spring cleaning, I believe in all aspects of our lives at this time, walking away from things that don't allow us to vibrate high, right? I feel like we are at the point where we're looking for something deeper. We're looking for something a little bit more that comes from the heart space. And so that could be in regards to your relationships, that could be in regards to your career. But I feel like it is what the general collective is really focused on at this time and trying to improve in some way. All right. Welcome back, all of my current followers and subscribers. Thank you guys for being back here with me again. I always love having you. Welcome in all the new followers and subscribers. You guys are always welcome, as this is a channel that I put out without judgment and with so much love. Hopefully, the messages are useful to you in some way. And when you subscribe, make sure when you hit that notification bell, make sure to just hit that arrow and select all, just so that you are notified of any of my new messages that I will be uploading for you guys. All right, my divine feminines, let's get started. What are the messages that are important to my divine feminines at this time? Okay. Our first message: open up. You're being asked to open your heart to another, to let down your walls and trust that they want what's best for you. Your life will open up in wonderful ways once you decide to open up. Interesting. So, like I said, just from this particular message, Divine Feminines, there seems to be love that is coming towards a lot of us at this time. Love, again, in different aspects of our life. But it seems like this is really a message about opening up and not being afraid to allow that love to come into our life. When you've been heartbroken, when you've been disappointed so many times, when you've been let down by a lot of people in your life, you become very guarded, or you can be. The goal is to understand how to protect yourself, but also not to be so guarded that you don't allow love to come into your life, especially the type of love that you deserve, right? So, even with everything that's happened so far in your life, this message is the first message out to my divine feminine collective to open up, to open your heart, to allow another person that comes in that proves that they are worthy of your love, that proves they are worthy of your affection, of your respect, that you like as a person, not just love. Don't be so guarded with these particular people that are coming in, okay? Good first message. What else is going on with my divine feminines? What else do we need to discuss for my divine feminines, okay? Solitude. Spending time alone is often what we need to hear the whispers of our soul. Get to know all aspects of yourself so you can stand on your own in any situation. Yeah. So there may be a lot of you that are in solitude or who have been in solitude, maybe after a previous breakup, maybe a previous situation that caused you to be guarded, that caused you to have to gain a new perspective, that caused you to have to look within, and that maybe made you feel that it was hard to trust. Being in solitude is very important because when you're alone, when there's no noise, there's no chaos around, when you truly just have time to go within and figure out what it is you truly desire, when you have time to go within to truly look at your past situations and figure out how you got there, what choices did you make that were not of your highest good, what mindset were you in when you decided to make those choices, it allows you to truly see from a different perspective the reason why you are where you are. And it also allows you to course correct, right? Because now you understand the lesson. Now you see the wisdom as to why that situation occurred. Sometimes a situation is occurring in order to show you and teach you a lesson that you need to learn. And sometimes those situations go on repeat, i.e., picking the wrong partners, dating the wrong individuals. And sometimes those individuals are different people, but with the same type of character. So you end up being disappointed and heartbroken over and over and over again. And at some point, you can't keep blaming the other person. At some point, you have to stop and look yourself in the mirror and say, well, why do I keep choosing this type of person? What is it about me that is attracting this type of person? Divine feminines, we have to be accountable and responsible. It is not always the opposite sex's fault. This could even be if you're in a same sex relationship. It doesn't really matter. The individual, you as a person, have to take accountability. We expect the other person to take accountability when we feel wrong, but it takes two people when you're in a type of relationship, friendship, situationship, relationship, marriage, sneaky link, it doesn't matter. There's two people involved, at least two. I mean, it could be more if we're talking about third party situations, and that just gets real messy. If we're talking about open relationships, some people are into polygamy, open relationships. There's people more than just yourself involved that need to take accountability in any situation, but Divine Feminine, you have to also be accountable and figure out why is it that you get into situations or relationships where you don't feel like you can trust that other person. Again, what is it about you that is attracting those type of individuals? Okay. But this is good information and for you to look at as you're in solitude. And then I also feel like there are a group of my divine feminines who are coming out of solitude because I feel like you've been through your dark night. You've taken the time to reevaluate your life and you are ready to open up. You are ready to start allowing love in, which is such a beautiful thing and it's such a great feeling because I feel like as you are opening up, you are way more confident in your decision making because now you've taken the time to figure out who you actually are, what you actually want out of a relationship. It's not that you're just, saying yes to the first person who shows you interest and you have no idea who it is you're connecting to. You're actually taking your time. You're actually looking at the person and figuring out, do I actually even like them? You're not just giving your energy away because you realize how precious it is. Very good. Beautiful. What else is important for my divine feminines at this time? What else is important for my divine feminines at this time? Okay. We have break free. Beautiful butterfly. A lot of you guys are going again through your transformations at this time, and that's why you are in solitude. And as you are in solitude, it can feel lonely. But understand and realize that you are never alone. Trust and believe you are never alone, especially if you have a relationship with the Most High, with our God, with your spirit team. You're never alone, Divine Feminine, no matter how it may feel sometimes. And take advantage of those moments of solitude, because I know that you don't always get them all the time, especially if you have other obligations, especially if you have families and you have busy jobs or you work from home. There's a lot of situations where there's a lot of external chaos in your life. So appreciate those moments in solitude. Take advantage of them. Break free. You're being asked to break free from the tribe in order to live your authentic life. This isn't easy, but it's very necessary. If you're going to share your true self with others, be brave, be real, be you, and trust that those who love you will always be there for you. Exactly. I think that this is such an important message because it is also about not being afraid to let go of the things that don't appreciate your authentic nature, right? I think when it comes to us being in relationships, even if we know that a certain individual is not good for us, we hold on so tight to it that it's almost like we ask for the heartbreak. It's literally like we ask for the pain, knowing that that particular person cannot give to us in the way that we deserve. So, this is about not being afraid to break free in order to be in your authenticity. If the person you're connecting to does not appreciate everything about you, it doesn't mean that they have to accept all of your characteristics, even the bad ones, right? It's not what that means. This is about you being comfortable in your own skin, and that person that's connecting to you, that says they want to be with you, that says that they love you, that says that they want to be a part of your life. It is about them having a true understanding about who you are authentically, and them allowing you to be free in your authenticity and still adoring you anyway. But this also means that in order for you to find that person, Divine Feminine, you have to be brave enough to live in that authenticity. You have to be not afraid to stand 10 toes down and be exactly who you are. Everybody has some type of insecurity, some type of flaw, something about them that maybe someone else is not going to like. That is normal. That is expected. There is no such thing as someone being absolutely perfect. It is an illusion. But it is about finding that person who is okay with coexisting with you, again, in your authenticity, so that you can truly live the life that you want, the life that brings joy to your heart, that allows you to be real and unapologetic. That's what you're looking for. But first, again, you have to be brave enough to do that. And this has nothing to do with aesthetics. This has everything to do with your character, with who you are on a soul level. We are women. Of course, we take care of ourselves. Of course, we want to be beautiful in whatever way that is for you. That's okay. But when those things that externally you use to make you beautiful hide who you are on a soul level, then you are not living in your truth. Okay? See it through. You don't always finish what you start and then talk badly to yourself because of it. Break the karmic pattern by seeing a project through to the end and then be proud of what you accomplished. So this is for a group of you guys that, may have an issue with completing what you start. So maybe you always have these great ideas, or maybe you always talk about going on a vacation, or maybe you've been talking about changing a job, whatever it may be. So this is about you actually following through with what you say, because it brings a level of integrity. It also shows that you're not flaky, right? Everybody wants to feel that they can depend on someone. So when you say a lot, but you don't actually follow through by your actions, people really just start to stop listening to you. They just completely stop believing anything you say. Everybody looks at it as a joke. Like, oh, yeah, so and so, yeah, they always say they're going to do this, but they never come through. Oh, yeah, so and so always say that they're going to, come over, and join us, at this event, but, we already know they're not going to show up. This is not a trait that you want people to have about you. And this is not even a trait that you should have for yourself. You should be dependable on yourself. And that means following through. If you say that, next week you're going to stop doing something, or you're going to start doing something that is going to better who you are, that means that it's time to start following through with the things that you say. And the more that you can do that, the easier it becomes. But if you are struggling with that, I always give the advice of maybe writing things down. For some reason, I feel like it's very helpful. But keeping your word is a level of integrity that will follow you throughout your life. And you want to have that type of reputation with others and also with yourself, divine feminine. That is what makes you a divine feminine, because the divine feminine is going to follow through, because there's things that she's going to build, there's things she's going to nurture, there's things she's going to grow, she's going to take care of herself. She's going to come through when she's supposed to come through. Okay? Bring balance. You're putting too much energy into something, creating lack somewhere else. Take action now to correct the situation or risk further imbalance, which could lead to undesired results. So, this could be about a group of you guys, if you are at the age where you have a family, husband, kids, or even if you're a single parent, you're just a single mom. This is saying you need a better balance in life. So, whatever it is you're doing too much of, it's time to slow down, reevaluate what you're doing too much of, and find a way to balance that with something that is more nurturing, that is going to bring balance to your mind, body, and spirit. So if you're a divine feminine who, you know, works overtime, works 7 days a week, never makes time for any type of self-care or nurturing, never makes time to reach out to, your friends and, just to go out for a nice dinner, or just, go out to a nice brunch, or just take the time to just be with yourself. This is telling you that you need to find a balance now. You need to bring balance to yourself. This is a confirmation for a lot of you. I know it because I also am a divine feminine and I have a lot that I handle. And while I love it, I've also learned that it is okay to rest. It is okay to nurture and pamper myself, because it keeps me in alignment. It keeps me with the right amount of energy to continue to move forward. So you have to find balance, my divine feminine. Okay? Okay, what else? Choice. You're being asked to make a choice that you've been struggling with. It's time to decide which path you're going to take. Listen to your intuition, eliminate everyone else's input, and feel your way into the choice that is right for you. The time is now. So, some of you guys have a very important decision that needs to be made very soon. So this is asking you, in order to help you with making this choice, with making this decision that has already seemed to be overwhelming for you. It's been on your mind for a while. You've been going back and forth a lot about it, and to the point where it's starting to stress you out a little bit. Or some of you guys have a very important choice coming up that you know that you're going to have to make. So, in order to help you with this, so you don't continue to struggle through it, listen to that inner voice, your intuition. Make sure, especially if this is a very big decision, it becomes overwhelming when you have a group of 5 or 10 people, usually family, friends, co-workers, right? Spouses, even kids, depending on their age, who all have an opinion. And if everybody's opinion is different, but the same in some ways, but they feel like you should do it more this way instead of more that way, it's going to be overwhelming. Eliminate all of that and trust yourself, trust your own intuition. Sit down with yourself, truly sit down with yourself, whether that is you needing to get in your car, leave everybody in the house on a Saturday, and while everybody else is doing their chores and everything else, after breakfast is over, you getting in your car or truck and you driving, and you finding a place or just driving and taking time to think with nobody else around. If that's what it's going to take for you to know what to do, then that's what you do. Because in the stillness, in the quiet, is when you truly find direction, divine feminine. Okay. All right. A few more here. What else is important for my divine feminines at this time? What else is important for my divine feminines at this time? What else is important for my divine feminines at this time? Okay. Professional assistance. It may be time to seek wise counsel. This could be in any life area, from legal or financial advice to more personal needs such as counseling or therapy. So, a group of you guys may be struggling with something. If this is pertaining to a relationship, again, if I'm talking to a group of you guys who have families, who've been married or are married, it could be where this choice that you need to make could have to do with your relationship. It could have to do with whether this is mentally good for you anymore, to where you might be thinking about a separation, a divorce. You may be thinking about going to a counselor in order to talk this out. And it's very important that you know that not every therapist is the same. So make sure, if you are trying to choose a professional therapist, make sure to try a few different ones to find the person that fits you best, because they are not all equal. I'll just say that. But seek the help that you need, especially, again, if this is such a big decision. Don't try to go at it alone if there's a way to find assistance in order to help you with the choice. Okay? You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to carry the burden. You don't have to carry the weight on your shoulder. If this is a situation where you don't want everybody else to know, and your family, because family, one person, you tell one person in the family, and then every person in the family would know in the next 24 hours. So sometimes it's good to not always disclose everything all the time, especially when it comes to making a big choice. It doesn't mean that you can't express this or say anything later once you've found your direction, but sometimes it's good to keep things to yourself when you're in the middle of trying to choose. Again, so if this is regarding whether or not you should walk away from a marriage, a partnership, you might have legal issues going on with your kids. It could be anything, but just take your time with it. Seek professional advice if that's what you need, and learn, study. Okay. A new endeavor is upon you, and it may require new knowledge and skills. Put the intention out to the universe, and the right teacher will soon find you. So, some of you guys, this could be about, gaining the knowledge in this particular situation when it comes to your relationships. I get that off of this study card. It could be you, you know, gathering as much information as you need from professionals in order to be able to discern what to do, right? So, that could be part of this situation. But I also get off of this that I have a group of you guys who may be thinking about starting a new career, wanting to get into a new type of endeavor. And this could be something completely different than what you're doing professionally. It could be a completely different field. It could be something more creative, because I feel like a lot of the collective is moving towards things that are more creative at this time. And it's okay to balance that, right, with what you're already doing. But I feel like if you are thinking about getting into something more creative, I'm encouraging you to do so. It's another way of expression. It's definitely a way to stay in balance with your heart's desires, with that, thing that makes you feel happy as a child felt, right? I always encourage that. Doesn't matter whether you want to do writing, whether you guys are singers, right? You guys could be painters, you could do a blog, you could have a platform. It doesn't matter. But find a way to put time and effort into that. Figure out what you need to do to make that happen, because you won't regret it. Divine Feminine, especially if it's something that you've always wanted to do. All right, one more for my Divine Feminine from what truths we need to discuss. One more for my Divine Feminine. One more for my Divine Feminines. Okay. Beautiful. Reward and recognition, which I know that you guys deserve, because as a Divine Feminine, you guys work so hard. You do so much for yourself. You do so much for your families. You do so much for your children. You do so much for your spouses. And as exhausted as that may be, at times you still wake up with a smile on your face. You still wake up and pull it together and go do what you need to do to make sure that your family is taken care of, while also taking care of you. Reward and recognition. Congratulations. Your hard work will soon pay off and take you in the direction of your dreams. Acknowledge your efforts and own your power. This is something that people recently have been reminding me a lot of. I am very much a go, 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 to the point where I don't slow down enough sometimes and really realize everything that I've done or accomplished. I don't really give myself a lot of recognition in that way. But luckily, I do have people who support me in my life, who remind me. And I think that's very important as a Divine Feminine, that you truly, truly look at your life's accomplishments, how you've raised your kids, how much you sacrificed, your time, your energy, the love that you give, the nurturing, what you've grown. If you truly look at your accomplishments, big or small, and I think we forget about the tiny things, the daily accomplishments. I think it would be easy to give ourselves love if we truly, truly saw how amazing we truly are, doing the things that we do on a daily basis, not complaining about it because it's coming from our heart space, because it's how we show love and affection to the people in our lives. So take the time out, Divine Feminine, take the time out and truly appreciate who you are, what you bring to the table. Because there are a lot of people who truly depend on you. And while the crown may be heavy, you wear it with grace, you wear it with pride, you wear it with unconditional love. So yes, you deserve reward and recognition. Great job, Divine Feminines. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to just pull a few zodiacs just to see if I can figure out who I'm connecting with in my Divine Feminine group right now. This could be Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. All right. Okay. Let's get one more. I have my Cancer group, Libras, Virgos, Capricorns, Gemini, and Aries gang. All right. Let me get you your first oracle. This is an oracle from Women in Total Control of Herself. So let's see what oracle message you guys are going to need. My Divine Feminines. Light feminines, dark feminines. You guys are all beautiful. My empaths. You guys have amazing abilities. Your strength is unmatched. You support so many people in life. Don't forget to support yourself, to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself, to give that same unconditional love to yourself because you deserve it. What's the most important oracle message for my Divine Feminines at this time? Okay. I have to cover her up here. So I have 22, the Bard of Truth. I have to cover her up here because she's a little bit exposed. I'll just put her like this. So 22 could be an important number. You could be seeing the numbers 22. You could be seeing the numbers 4. The Bard of Truth. Okay. Self-deprecation, deep modesty, self-doubt. These are the results of living in fear of judgment, caged in a system that judges women for speaking out and standing true. Our lives are not our own as long as we fear being transparent. When we allow ourselves to shrink with fear of being judged or shamed for speaking up, or standing out from the status quo, we have lost the very essence of what makes us feel most alive, our authenticity. Our authenticity is our practical magic. Our truth is key to our resilience, our radiance, our confidence. It is connected to our grace, like the swan, and also to our heart's music. And like a sweet melody, it is a prime recovery tool when sad, overwhelmed, anxious, or depressed. It is our greatest asset in maintaining our vibe and attracting our tribe. Without it, we feel cut off from our joy and wonder and our sense of connection. Speak up, speak out, speak true. Beautiful picture depiction. The Bard of Truth, Divine Feminines. This whole message was about being your authentic self, allowing people into your life that truly appreciate you authentically, and not being afraid to stand in your authenticity. Beautiful. All right, let me get you a message from Oshun. What's our Oshun message for my Divine Feminines at this time? What's our Oshun message for our divine feminines at this time? Number 32, Oshun's voice chakra. Authenticity, individuality, self-expression. I mean, come on. Divine feminines, by this time, I think we know what the message is. You guys need to stay in your authenticity, or if you haven't started doing so yet, this is your confirmation. It's time. I am unapologetically me, and I express myself authentically and freely. Own your voice. Speak up. Express yourself. No more holding back. Authenticity invites authenticity. When you are true to yourself, you create the space for deeper emotional connections, whether it's through talking with someone, writing in a journal, you guys, or engaging in artistic pursuits. Find your avenue for expression. Exactly. Confirmation again. Like I said, I feel like there's a group of you guys who are really at the point of wanting to express yourself in a more creative way. Again, this is your confirmation that it's time to start doing so. And don't be afraid of what that expression is. Beautiful. Now let's get you one from Feminine Wisdom Oracle to close us out. Beautiful messages for you guys. Again, I pray you guys are doing well. Don't ever be afraid of who you are authentically, divine feminine, because you guys are absolutely beautiful. You guys are incredible. You guys do so much for so many on a daily basis, and never forget that you are truly valuable. And don't let anyone make you feel differently. Our first one out. Oh, here we go. No, we just got this one here. Number 17, kindness. The number 17 may be significant. You may be born on the 17th. The numbers 1, the number 7, the numbers 8 could all be significant. Kindness, love in action. And this is exactly who you are, divine feminines. You guys are kind. You're loving. You're so giving. A beautiful quality that is love in action, being considerate and generous. When in doubt, choose kindness, for your kindness heals hearts and nurtures people's souls. It's important to be kind to yourself in this period of your life. To heal your inner child, you must show yourself compassion and empathy. Choose to realize that we are all flawed and that it is absolutely okay to make mistakes. Offer yourself to the gentle hand that you so often and selflessly give to others. Affirmation: I am worthy of my own kindness. Absolutely. This is on page 47. I could be talking to a group of you who are 47. Again, the number 4, the number 7 could be significant. Also, the number 11. A lot of you guys, again, may be going through transformation, going through some ascensions at this time. But yes, be as kind to yourself as you are to others. We are so hard on ourselves, divine feminines, like I said, but we do so much, big and small, on a daily basis that go unseen, that go unrecognized. But sometimes you have to give that recognition to yourself. So that is a form of self-love, showing yourself that love, that appreciation. Even if you don't get it from the people around you, you know what you bring to the table. So don't forget that just because you are surrounded by maybe people who don't appreciate it. It doesn't work that way. Your value is not based on people who don't see you as valuable. You're not for sale. You are always valuable. and deserve to be treated as such, and you deserve to treat yourself as such. Oh, beautiful. I love you, divine feminines. Keep your heads up. Keep your hearts open, because that is what makes you divine. Allow people in that deserve to be a part of your life and walk away from the people who do not. It's as simple as that. All right, you guys. Well, that is your message. I pray that it resonated. I hope that it really gave you some food for thought. If so, I would love to hear about it. Please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me. But until next time, bye.